Hi guys, it's Phoebe from Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. So yesterday some Doctor Who news dropped on BBC Children in Need, the new companion. Now I am thrilled about this. It's been a long wait to know who the new companion is going to be for the 14th Doctor. Technically they're calling Scooty Gutwell the 15th because the Doctor's the 14th. I don't know, it's hard. It's hard to recognise, but I'm saying 14th. But yeah, we've got Millie Goodson playing Rudy Sunday. Now this is going to be good. When it comes to Doctor Who companions, they've got to be like perfect for the Doctor, because as you know, the Doctor only takes the best. And I will admit that. I can probably name every single Doctor Who companion. There was Susan, she was the Doctor's granddaughter. She was strong, smart, basically like the Doctor. There was Barbara, a science teacher. She understood a lot of the scientific stuff the Doctor was explaining. And Ian, who was a history teacher, who understood a lot of the historical facts when they were travelling through the universe, which is perfect. So those three companions alone helped the Doctor. Obviously then you have Vicky. She was just as smart as Susan, but I'd say slightly more so. Then you had Stephen. He was really good. He was basically like head smart and sensible smart, to the point where he didn't get captured, but he did manage to get the Doctor rescued at some point. Then you have Polly and Ben. Polly was a secretary, so that really stood in her favour when she was smart. And yes, I am comparing every single Doctor Who companion right now. And obviously you had Ben, a sailor, really, really headstrong. He was a headstrong companion, really good. Then you have Jamie, who was really good at the martial arts kind of stuff, like punching people. Then you had Victoria. She's not your typical companion, but she was really good for the Doctor anyway. I mean, most people would say she was just like a sort of scaredy cat, but with the Doctor she learned. So in the end she became like any other companion, very smart. I mean, Jamie liked to lecture the Doctor a lot. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I've got TikTok on a very low thing because I'm trying to keep my screen time up. But yeah, so, and then you had Zoe. She always thought she was smarter than the Doctor was, which is always an interesting dynamic to have the companions smarter than the Doctor was. Then you've got Liz Shaw, the Doctor's companion when he began his exile. She was there with him at the Ashbridge Cottage Hospital, where the Doctor was taken after his regeneration. I'm pretty sure that Dr. Henderson would have had to sign like a Secrets Act because he was helping UNIT with the Doctor's regeneration. She was really good. She was actually a scientist, so she worked well with the Doctor. She bounced off John Pertwee quite good. Jo Grant, she wasn't a scientist when she first went to UNIT, but the Doctor soon whipped her into shape. She asked a lot of really intelligent questions, which is exactly what you need. Then you had Sarah Jane, probably one of my absolute favourite companions. She was a journalist and she was like in UNIT studying alien life and doing stories about alien life and stuff like that, and that was really good. She was like your typical hot-headed, strong companion, you know, back in the day. Then you had Harry, Surgeon Lieutenant Harry Sullivan, who helped the Doctor with his regeneration when he turned from the 3rd to the 4th Doctors. So yes, he travelled in the TARDIS for a season, which I thought was really funny. He said, "Oh, I say quite a lot." You know, he was very medical within the Doctor, you know, for the Doctor. And then after that, you had Leela. She was really good with a knife. Like, I'm going to say her strong suit was combat. Like, very combat. She was a member of the 17, so yeah, she was a very combat companion. Then you had Romana, a Time Lord companion, which is unusual because Doctor Who wouldn't have normally done it in that way. But I did like it. I did like it a lot, like having a Time Lord just as smart as the Doctor to challenge the Doctor's cleverness. Then you had Adric, a mathematical genius. He had a badge for mathematical excellence, so he was really good with the 4th Doctor, but he fed off well with the 5th Doctor, I think. Then you had Nyssa. Her specialist was in biomechanics and stuff like that, and she was really smart and she asked all the right questions. And then you had Tegan, a very intelligent woman who had all the same traits as the Doctor. It's not obvious, but it is there. Like, the Doctor's determined, she's determined, so you know, she fed off the Doctor really well, I think. Particularly, she fed off more Peter Davison's Doctor. I mean, that is her Doctor. I mean, she was with Tom Baker in his last story, which was his regeneration story, but she fed off Peter Davison's Doctor better, I think, personally, even though she'd only known like Tom Baker's Doctor for one story. But she got to work with 2 amazing people. Janet Fielding said it was an honour to work with Peter Davison and Tom Baker at the same time. And then you had Perry. She fed off better. Then you had Turlo. He was just as smart as Nyssa, but when Nyssa left, he became like the Doctor's second smart person, really. You know, but Tegan was like sort of like the same as the Doctor in so many ways. She didn't agree with killing or murdering or anything like that, and she did encounter the Master on several different occasions. And Nyssa only really encountered the Master 4 times, and Tegan encountered him like 3 times, but still. Well, 4 actually, so both Nyssa and Tegan both encountered the Master the same amount of times. And then obviously you had Perry. She fell off better with Colin Baker's Doctor, I personally think. Just it gave more of a good vibe. And then you have Mel. She was a genius with computers, but that didn't really help around the universe anyway. Don't know what the point of her skills were. Then you had Ace. She was a good companion with explosives. So, yeah, that was really good. And then you had, after that, Rose. She was a shop person. I don't actually know what her skills were, but she did learn a lot from being with the Doctor. Hence the whole unit thing that she did. And then you had Martha, and then you had Jack. Captain Jack, he was really good with the Doctor. He fed off better with Dave Tennant's Doctor, personally, I think, rather than the 9th Doctor. It was all flirting with him and the 9th Doctor. It was disgusting. I know John Barrowman's gay, but still. And then you had Martha. She fed off really well with the 10th Doctor because she was a medical student, so she had all the right qualities to travel with the Doctor. Obviously, you had Donna, which is like really good. She was a really good companion. You had Amy, which she was intelligent, and then you had her dumb-wit of a husband, Rory. I was gonna say something else, but my TikTok is for kids, my YouTube is for kids. And then you had Clara. Again, she was like smart, like Doctor smart. She took the role of the Doctor one time. Then you had Bill, who the Doctor tutored her through the time she was at the university, and then, which is really good, she learned a lot from being with the Doctor, even though her ending isn't exactly a nice one. And then you had Yaz, Ryan and Graham. Again, Yaz was a police officer, so she was really useful around the universe. Ryan was a warehouse worker, so when they did that Complan episode, it was really like interesting to see that. And then you had Graham. Again, he was intelligent like the Doctor. And now we've got a new companion, Ruby Sunday. And I think with all those qualities I've mentioned in companions, I feel like she's going to have at least one of those qualities. Maybe not all of them that all the other companions had. But she did say last night that she's hoping to fill the boots of the other companions quite nicely. And I think she definitely will. So yeah, she's definitely going to have one of the traits from each companion, I feel like, but she won't have every single one. But I feel like she'll definitely ask all the right questions with the Doctor. She'll learn a lot from the Doctor, you know, that kind of thing. So I feel like definitely for sure she is going to be one great of a companion. But like I said, most companion traits are intelligent and asking all the right questions, and I feel like she'll definitely have that down. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure you click the blue subscribe button down below if you've never seen my face on your screens before, and also click the notifications bell to get notifications every single time I upload. I think I've given my point of the new companion and what companions should have when travelling with the doctor. So yeah, until then, Alonzi.